to episode 1 of Challenge Run, and I have to give you guys so much credit because you came up with an awful lot of challenges for me. So I've picked and chosen some of them. There's quite a lot which I have picked, split into pushes, title challenges, miscellaneous, and punishments for if I fail any challenges. But they will be listed in the description down below. Some of them will start on this episode, some of them won't. But all of them are challenges for this save, and they have to be completed. Otherwise, I get a punishment. So, but there's one challenge which we do have to do something for first, so we're just going to quickly jump into that. By SummerSlam next year. I don't know if all of these are physically possible, but that's part of the fun, isn't it? So I've got every single unimportant name on the main roster on this wheel, and we're going to spin it. And we're going to be pushing I'm not even joking, this is actually legitimately the first time I've spun this wheel, and I'm not going to moan about that. And we are in the Barclays Centre, the same location as SummerSlam was last night. This whole first week we'll all be in the Barclays Centre, because that's kind of what they did back then. SummerSlam and the Raw and SmackDown afterwards will all be in the same venue. I don't know why. Eventually we will move on to bigger venues for SummerSlam, and most pay-per-views actually. But actually some of the challenges show not just in the US. So welcome to Monday Night Raw. We are live in the Barclays Centre. It's the night after SummerSlam and we have a big show for you. Both of our new champions, the new Universal Champion Rowan Reigns and the new Raw Women's Champion Ronda Rousey, they are both here in the building tonight, and they will be here to talk to you as well. We have a SummerSlam rematch after the mess on the pre-show. The Raw Tag Team titles will be back on the line again today as the B Team defend against the Revival. And tonight's main event sees Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins team up to take on Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. There is so much more on this card, but right now, here is the new Universal Champion, Roman Reigns. And Roman comes out, the Shield music still, the big dog. He comes out and he's like, this is my yard now. I beat Brock Lesnar, and finally this Universal Championship is mine. But I want to issue out a favour. Last night was SummerSlam. 2 years after this belt was introduced. And there is one man who never got a chance which he was entitled to. He'd won the belt on the first night and then had to vacate it due to injury and then never got a shot to regain it again. I'm going to fix that. So Finn Balor, come out here. Finn Balor comes out, not in his ring gear, just in his jacket and his t-shirt and trousers. And Roman says, we know what the main event is tonight, but I say we give this crowd more. Tonight, I am offering you a shot at the Universal Championship. And Finn Balor grabs a mic and goes, Roman, I appreciate your candidness, but I also want you to be careful what you wish for. Because yes, you mentioned that I was the first person to win the Universal Championship, but you didn't mention how I got there. And that was on my first night. I beat you to get into that title shot. Everyone thought you were going to go for it. But no. This new boy came in and I beat you. Now, I may have been out for almost a year after that, but I have worked hard to get back to that level. and I will not give up. And tonight, I am stronger than I was 2 years ago. I will prove myself. And Roman, just like me, your Universal title reign will last one day. That gets to 66, and it sets up one of our big matches for later in the show. Opening match of the night sees Ronda Rousey team with the Bella Twins against Alexa Bliss and her group, which she had around this time, Mickie James and Alicia Fox. And it is Ronda and the Bellas who pick up the victory here. It goes about just under 10 minutes. Nikki Bella pinning Alicia Fox with twin magic with Brie. Ronda was by far the best person in this match. Alicia, by far the weakest. But this sort of puts an end to the Ronda versus Alexa feud and allows us to go and start something else, because Ronda Rousey goes out and grabs a mic, but before she gets to say something, she gets interrupted by Natalya. And Natalya comes out and she's like, Ronda, I'm so proud of you. You have made it. You have won the Raw Women's Championship. I always knew you'd do it. From the second we started training together, I knew you were one day going to be the champion. But hey, I may have taught you everything you know. I didn't teach you everything I know. So, how about it, friend? At Unforgiven, I've replaced Hell in a Cell. I don't like themed pay-per-views. At Unforgiven, Natalya challenges Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. Two friends battling it out for one of the biggest prizes in our industry. And Ronda looks around smiling, clearly slightly annoyed that her friend just interrupted her moment. But she accepts, and this is our first confirmed pay-per-view match. Natalya versus Ronda Rousey for the Raw Women's Championship. We then get a triple threat tag team match for a future tag title shot, potentially. The commentators are a bit iffy on this. But it's the AOP versus the Ascension versus the Singh brothers. And the Ascension pick up the win when Viktor taps out Sunil Singh. So this was our storytelling match of the night, because I didn't think it would be great anyway. Get to 47, and apparently Razor and Paul Ellering don't work well together. I mean, that's just not true, when we know that's not true. Paul Ellering was great with AOP. But maybe we need Drake Maverick. No. No, we don't. In the match, the AOP were the best, and actually the Singhs were second best, but I need to push Viktor, don't I? We're going to get a quick vignette with broken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt under his control. It is just your traditional spooky Bray Wyatt and Matt Hardy nonsense. Bray Wyatt did not do well without a script to follow, even with multiple takes. I don't believe you. I don't believe you. Simple as that. Gets a 44 though. These guys, yeah, Bray Wyatt is someone who I want a lot for in this save. I want Bray Wyatt to be a big deal in this save. I'm worried on night one though. Kevin Owens goes into Kurt Angle and Baron Corbin's office, and he is furious at Braun Strowman for being reckless at SummerSlam. You know, it was unfair what he did to me. Of course, Braun Strowman beat him in a minute and a half. Fair and square. But Kevin Owens is not going to accept that. He is furious. And Corbin tells Kevin Owens, don't worry, I have a plan to deal with Braun Strowman. And they both sort of look at Kurt Angle, and then they walk away out of shot so that Angle doesn't hear their plan. And Angle just stands there, just like, why am I even here anymore? No one trusts me anymore. And I don't think I've done anything wrong. He doesn't say any of that, but it's implied. We then get Bobby Lashley in a quick match against 3 local talents, Eel O'Neill, Lee Moriarty, and Nick Comoroto. Of course, you probably recognise these 3 enhancement talent. They just happened to be in the area, and I needed jobbers for this match. So here we are. So Bobby Lashley picks up the win, obviously, in a couple of minutes. It is your traditional squash. Bobby, we are trying to present as this unstoppable machine. Yeah, Bobby Lashley taps out Lee Moriarty in the Dragon Sleeper. I probably would have gone for Eel O'Neill, but I didn't care really enough to put a fixed person. Then Braun Strowman is backstage, and he bumps into Paul Heyman. And Paul Heyman starts talking to us like, Braun, I am so sorry for what happened to you at SummerSlam. The Shield coming out like that to prevent you from cashing in. I think it's unacceptable. What they did was completely unacceptable, and I don't understand why they've been allowed to get away with it. You should have been allowed to cash in at that moment. But Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose think they control the shots. No, I disagree. And I apologise to you, Braun. And I know the Beast feels the same way. He is sorry for you, Braun. And if you need help with anything, just give me a call. And I'm sure the Beast will be happy to oblige. Gets a 65 rating. We then get the Ascension. They're backstage. They're going into the locker room celebrating after their victory. And Viktor just stops in his tracks. And he's just staring at a seat. The camera pans over, and Hulk Hogan is sitting there. Connor's like, what are you staring at? We cut back to Viktor, and he's pointing at the seat. He's like, can you not see him? He's in our locker room. The camera pans back, and Hulk Hogan isn't there. There's no Hulk Hogan there. But Viktor is convinced that Hulk Hogan was just in that seat. But Connor didn't see any of it. He gets a 50 rating. And what comes around goes around, I suppose, is what they say. Chad Gable gets a quick little match, defeating Kurt Hawkins on his losing streak. Goes 3 minutes, grand amplitude, picks up the victory, gets a 45. Gable gets a 60, which I'm happy about, especially considering him and Kurt don't click, which I'm a little bit not worried about. It doesn't really matter to me if Kurt Hawkins and Chad Gable click. If Kurt Angle and Chad Gable don't click, then I might genuinely be pissed. The Shield are backstage. Dean, Roman, and Seth. They're all and they're just sat down in their locker room. They've all got big matches tonight. Roman against Finn, Dean and Seth against Dolph and Drew. And they're just sitting there, almost reminiscing. A few sly digs here and there at Seth, who takes them on the chin and he's like, yep, you know what? I messed up. I did what was best for me. And I didn't think about my brothers and who I'd hurt in that moment. So I'm sorry, but I don't regret what I did. And this kind of irks Dean a little bit, but they all shake it out. Gets a 75 rating. Ember Moon picks up a victory in a match which wasn't supposed to cool the crowd down, but did. She taps out Dana Brooke in 5 minutes. It's just a quick little match. Get Ember Moon on the card. Get her in front of this crowd. Get her more known as a winner. And she picks up a win here. Elias is out in the ring. We come back from commercial and Elias is just sat in the ring. Who wants to walk with Elias? And he plays his song about how shitty New York is. And he gets interrupted by No Way Jose, who comes out, and Elias is pissed and he just beats down No Way Jose for 4 minutes before hitting his diving elbow drop to pick up the victory. Gets a 39. It was a rough match, but it was to start 2 storylines. One for Elias and one for No Way Jose. Gets a 39 rating. And then we go straight into our tag team title match. It's a very wrestling heavy portion of the show, this. Well, we did a lot of angles in the first half of the show. The second half of the show is for the wrestling. Because, you know, I'm a wrestling first fan. Stories are very important, but stories can be told in the ring. The Revival beats the B Team to win their first main roster tag team titles, I believe. And Dash Wilder pins Curtis Axel with the Shatter Machine. The B Team put up a fight. They're not completely out of this. They're not completely not on the level of the Revival. The Revival almost start to respect them after spending all of the last month saying they do not deserve to be tag team champions. The Revival are now starting to almost respect them. But it's not respect, it's not enough. And the B Team are no longer your tag team champions. It's a simple match, but it does its job. And then we go backstage, and Baron Corbin is going around with a wad of money, and he's just handing it to people. Like, hey, you free? You doing anything right now? No? Cool, come here. He gets Bobby Roode, Chad Gable, Heath Slater, Jinder Mahal, Mojo Rawley, and they all go, and they attack Braun Strowman. And in the most shocking part of all, it works. Braun is in his own head almost. He's thinking about something. And this attack works. He gets beaten down by all of these people. Like, it took 6 people, yeah. But Corbin's plan worked. The rating didn't, but oh dear. In the Universal Championship match for the night, Roman Reigns defeats Finn Balor in 20 minutes with a spear. It's a good match. It's a long TV match. We take this seriously. Our big matches on the show get treated seriously with time and excitement. But Roman Reigns gets an 83, Finn Balor a 64. Finn Balor stays with Roman for most of the match. But in the end, it doesn't really matter. The spear, 1, 2, 3, Roman Reigns is still your Universal Champion. And there's no Braun Strowman to try and catch in on him now. So, he's okay for the night. We get a quick vignette for Apollo Crews and Titus O'Neil saying, we are ready. We are ready to take this brand worldwide. We are going to show what we have got. It's a 40 rating. And that leads not into our main event. I forgot we have one more match as the Boston Hug Connection defeat the Riot Squad of Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan. When Sasha Banks taps out Sarah Logan with the bank statement, Liv Morgan was by far the worst person in this match. Some things never change. Gets a 59 rating. Sasha Banks was phenomenal, 67. We've got to get her up into the main event scene shortly. And Dolph and Drew have a quick pre-match interview. Well, not a pre-match promo. They're like, Team Seth, we know there are fractures between you. Dean, you still haven't forgiven Seth for what he did all those years ago. And Seth, you still think it was the right thing to do. You guys don't stand a chance on us. We are brothers. You guys claim you are. But we have shown that we are tight as anything. And that goes straight into the main event, I believe. It does. And Dean Ambrose picks up the win, tapping out Dolph Ziggler with a bulldog choke. A move which he didn't use in WWE. But this is his first match back. So, we're going to use it here on his first match back to really symbolise that we're kind of booking Jon Moxley, not Dean Ambrose here. And gets a 75 overall, 77 for Rollins, 73 for Ambrose. Both teams have chemistry boosts. And the show overall gets a 73. We lose pop in some regions, we gain in others. I ain't going to moan too much about that. Now, I understand that you probably have no interest in watching main event, so I'm not going to show you main event. We're going to leave it off here. I'll maybe give you a recap of main event before the next episode, very quickly. I've been the Phantom TW. This has been Challenge Run episode 1, and I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.